Oh my God. Stacy.
Wait a minute. What's going on?
Excuse me, Stacy.
Technical
Houston, we have a problem.
Nice forehead.
No, I know. I use gel pads, so it's not so green. Why am I halfway? Wait a minute.
Whose forehead is that?
Who is that? Who? Tony? Wait, what the hell?
Who the heck?
Tony, are you there? Tony. Oh my God. Wait a minute. I see a fist. All right. Oh my God. Let's try to adjust our cameras, everybody. Let's try to fix this. What are we doing here? All right. Let's try to bring this into normalcy here.
Normalcy.
Hey, Tony.
Tony C.
Hey, guys. How's everybody?
C. How are you, my friend?
Doing well. How's everybody doing?
Very good.
Wait, you know what?
Actually,
we weren't doing so well.
Right.
We got a last minute. Stacy and I got a message from our co-host Anthony. He couldn't be here because of his job. They completely upended his schedule and his time. So he's not going to be with us for a few episodes. And the problem we're having is Anthony is a workhorse. Anthony is a Hercules, right? So we have a problem. We couldn't even get our camera straight without Anthony. Okay, so
we need him back.
We got to get him back here. So Stacy and I were talking, and we had very little time to kind of put this idea together. And we thought, wouldn't it be interesting if we had kind of like a rotating guest host chair? And
right.
You know, Tony, you were so awesome to fill in for Anthony at the last minute. Thank you.
Thank you.
You actually brought up a great point. Johnny Carson had to fill in. Right? Howard Stern had to fill in. And so if these people can do it, we can do it.
Sure. I mean, I'm no Burt Reynolds, but yeah, we could do it. You know?
Yeah, you're better than Burt Reynolds. Trust me. Are you kidding? No, we're so you're like a premier Rocky fan, and that's what we need to kind of guide us through this dark night without Anthony. Right. And we also, hopefully, we will have Lorenzo, our man on the street, checking in with us at some point.
Yeah.
Because this is the beef that Anthony is. Anthony is such a man. We need two men to come in and take over.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He is the backbone. He's the spine, right?
He is.
He is in many ways. Yes, I tell you, so many ways. And people don't realize, and I'm trying to learn some editing, how much time it takes to do that and how much back end stuff is, how long it takes to upload to YouTube. It takes hours. It's a lot of work. So yeah, that's the unsung, glory of it all.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Seriously, it is.
The unsung part. So
now, Tony, I know we saw you recently, but what's anything whatsoever been happening? You've been working on Christmas decorations. You've been eating some favorite foods of yours. What's been happening?
Well, since we spoke last, not a whole lot. It's working like Anthony is, doing that.
Yeah.
But actually, oddly enough, we just came back from West Palm yesterday. We were over there for a little overnight, Saturday into Sunday. Some friends of ours from Philly, he's actually from Broomall, came down to West Palm, so we went to go see him. And of course, I had to try to find Sly's house. So
he's down there now too. He's been doing his Instagrams from his Florida house.
Yeah, we saw the little one that he talked about, courage. And that morning, I was driving around his neighborhood. My wife's like, "We're not going to get arrested. Can we please leave?" Like, he's not anywhere around, so you really can't see much anyway. I mean, it's almost like a lot of gates and bushes and driveway. It's everybody's home down there. They're just multi-million-dollar homes. But we had a good time. We had a good time in Palm Beach.
Nice.
We're back to the grindstone, and I get in from work, and then I see a message from Miss Stacy there. I said, "Oh, what's this about?" All right.
What are you doing? 911.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
5 minutes ago, I was going to have a sandwich, and now I'm on the show with you guys.
You're not having dinner tonight. You're going to forget
that.
I will pass dinner anytime to be on the show with you guys.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, listen. So this is the holiday season, and we probably should be wearing Christmas hats or having some type of Christmas logo up or something. But do you, Tony? Do you have a real tree or do you have a fake tree?
No, we have a fake tree actually.
Gotcha.
Down here in Florida, the real trees are stupidly expensive because they have to come from Georgia and the Carolinas.
Wow.
So the trees up there in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, you get a really nice tree for like $50, or even less. Here a nice tree of any considerable size is like $200.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
$200.
Yeah,
Jesus.
no lie. They have tabletop ones that are $40.
Oh.
So we decided to buy one of those really nice fake trees that look real, and
I agree.
We've had that for the past couple of years, and it's yeah, so it's good stuff. We have that. We decorate that every Thanksgiving evening. So.
Do you do underneath the tree, like the little village? You do any of that stuff?
No, it's funny you said that because my daughter has a train set that she bought last year, a Christmas train set, but she didn't set it up. She just said she wants to. But in general, no,
Gotcha.
we do not.
You see, I'm one of these fools who I got it from my father. And oddly enough, this is the first year my dad didn't do a village underneath the tree because his knees are killing him. So I usually come in to help him with the tree and with the village, but I've been so busy with my tours, I couldn't come in. And so I do my tree in my village usually in late October.
Oh, you go that early? Wow.
Oh, I go early.
I saw your last post. And I mean, the house looks beautiful. I mean, it looks.
Thank you.
Yes, it's gorgeous.
You did a good Clark Griswold, so that was. Nice.
I tried. I tried. That's a lot to remember, man.
It sure is. I was surprised you did it.
That's a big ass speech that he.
I ran out of breath watching it.
Yeah. Hallelujah. Where's the Tylenol? I love that.
That's great.
I love that. Yeah. So, at any rate, so my dad didn't do his village this year, and I was just in for a little visit just a few days ago. Went in for 2.5 days, and it was really nice. And he bought this beautiful little skirt that goes underneath the tree, and it's really a great look. But you do miss that village with the little people underneath there and the little cars and all that, and so it gave me this idea for a story. And Stacy, you might appreciate this. I have this concept. I thought, would it be interesting if via the little village underneath the tree, you have a village here, and then he's in Scranton, I'm in Philly, and it turns out you can communicate with past relatives that have died through this village, right? But the village has to be set. And then it would turn out to be everybody is dead. And when you look at the village, it would be another family that this village has been willed onto. And so you look at the village, and it's a normal village. The buildings are the same. Anyone would have another tree. But because there's an emotional connection, it becomes a doorway. So as you lower yourself in to one of the doors on one of the buildings, then you go into under the platform, under the tree. Now the village will be you're walking around. Now it becomes like a Hallmark movie. It becomes live. Exactly.
That's got to be your next book there, Mike.
I think Stacy and I are going to write something up on this. The Christmas Village Miracle, I think. Sell it. Stacy and I will sell it to Hallmark. We'll be able to pay off our respected houses, and then that's it. Everything.
Hallmark would be all over that.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Oh my!
All right, where are we, Stacy? Did we get our man Lorenzo yet? Is he chimed in?
He is not here yet. Not yet. We're waiting on him.
All right. So,
something else, Mike, you might want to know.
Yes, sir.
I went to the mailbox today.
Okay.
And I found this little gem for $5 on eBay.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
What is it?
So,
oh my gosh,
it's got all the sayings from the Rocky movies.
Yeah, I was literally just about to post. That's how I saw Stacy's message. I was about to post that on Instagram, and then my daughter gave me this early Christmas present. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah. Okay, what is that? Rocky 2? Oh no, Rocky Balboa.
Rocky 3 with
Rocky 3.
Yeah, he's got the belt on.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
So, what is the story with those? I've seen those Rocky figures around.
My daughter's really into those pops. Pop Funko is the company that makes them, and she's a huge Marvel fan. So she's on their Instagram and their, and whatever, social media that's promoting their new pops. And they put out a 45th anniversary set of Rocky. She had told me that the original Rocky that they did when the company first started has been retired now, and you can't buy them unless you're buying them on eBay, and they go for like $500 and $600.
Wow.
These little plastic figures. I mean, you know how that is with toys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they released, which surprised me, because I mean, when you go and you look at, she showed me some of the catalog online, and they got everything. They got They got Seinfeld and Guns N' Roses and movies that are like pretty obscure that you might not even know.
Yeah.
So like, how could they have not done any more Rocky but the first few? They only had Rocky in his white trunks, they had Apollo in his stars and stripes, and they had Mr. T and Drago. And that's it.
Wow.
You know, and then now they released this 45-year anniversary, and they have Apollo and Rocky again with the trunks. And this one here, he's got the world champ belt on.
I got you.
And then they made one where he's in the gray sweatsuit holding a chicken.
Oh, really? He's holding a chicken.
Holding a chicken.
Now that's one I want to get.
That's what I said.
I want that one.
That's what I said too. I said I need that one. So that came today, and that was a nice surprise.
Well, I'll tell you what. One of our friends who was at the premiere with us, Jess Morelli, she messaged me last night, and she was telling me about something that she got. It was a Rocky coloring book.
Oh, get out!
So,
really?
You know, I don't know if I'm going to describe it well, but when he's in Jurgen's chair, this is a behind the scenes shot. The hat is really highly cocked on him, and he's sitting there with the gloves and his
fingers together. Yeah,
the fingers together. It's like drawn in cartoon form, and then you get to color it in. Anyways, she bought two of them, so she's going to send me one. So I was very happy about that.
Is it something that she found recent, or is it an old one she found on eBay?
No. Recent, new on eBay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So check that out. Rocky coloring book. Go with that.
That's awesome.
And then I got another email from somebody in Canada who follows. I think her name is Barone, Jennifer Barone, I think. And I apologize if I'm saying it wrong, but she was telling me she had gone to Walmart in Canada, and they re-released the Rocky Trans Am, the '79 Trans Am. And what it is, I wish I had a picture here. We could throw it up here, but it is it's a black like Ford pickup truck in the packaging, and it's got a trailer, and on the trailer is a Trans Am, the Rocky Trans Am, and the packaging is the Rocky 2 Trans Am. So I said to Sue, wow, could you see if you can find this? So she starts Googling. She goes to the Walmart website, and they still have the Jax Pacifica action figures there. There's a whole boatload of them.
Really?
I couldn't believe it. Now I have 3 of every Jax Pacifica figure. So there's the Joe Frazier, there was the Rocky wheelchair.
Yeah, there was everything.
They're all on there.
Remember the side of beef?
My God. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. Let me turn around real quick here. Side of beef. There it is. It's the second red one. Yeah, second red one right there. That's you can't see it. I know it's a little far away, but that is the side of beef. And
I love the fact that they made a side of beef its own action figure.
I love that, Tony. But look what they missed out on. Jax missed out on a butt kiss. How do you not make a butt kiss? Okay. Yeah. And second, they had the statue, which was just a gold painted Rocky figure. All right, but that was rare. Okay, so I got that one, but how do you not make a robot?
Yeah. Oh God. I didn't think about that. I thought about Butkus before. I was like, that's pretty silly they didn't make him, but I didn't think about the robot.
I mean, the robot is almost a gimme on this 8-inch figure. I mean, I just don't understand how they didn't go with that, but whatever.
They should have made them all like a nativity set, have Rocky, Adrian, Polly, Robert, the robot.
Love that. Rocky nativity. Are you kidding me?
That's where I thought you were going, Mike, with the village under the tree. I thought you were going to say you had Mickey's Gym, and you got the L Train, and you got the singers on the corner.
I love it.
Right?
Listen, my wife, if she didn't have to put up with enough already, I would have
she'll kill me.
I would, I would have pushed the boundaries and had a whole Rocky, Kensington set up underneath there, and I would have built a Rocky Steps, the museum.
Yep,
I would have had a whole thing, like a mechanical Rocky running up the steps. But you know what's interesting is imagine if we took a Rocky and a Nutcracker and made him into a Rocky. You know, there's the Wizard of Oz Nutcracker.
Yep.
There's the Harry Potter Nutcracker. There's a ton of Nutcrackers. Star Wars Nutcrackers. There are no Rocky.
We'll have to find the Rocky artist out there. So you guys that are watching, anybody that's really good with art, you know, and crafts, you got to get in touch with us and make a set. You know,
I wish you're right, Tony. If anybody could come up with the concept of a Nutcracker Rocky with an Adrian and a Paulie and the whole
everybody.
line, I think in the Rocky world that would sell. I really think. I mean, you got to go get rights and all that, but still,
grown adults are buying coloring books. Mike, come on, of course we buy that.
I know. For the last couple of years, I've bought my mother and Sue coloring books, adult coloring books. With the markers and coloring in. And I mean, Sue, as much as I love Sue, and I do, honey, if you're watching this, I love you so much, but you have very little patience. And I could not believe when you came to me and said you would like to have one of these coloring books a few years ago. And I thought, you need a lot of patience for that. And let me tell you something. Her patience level, she has the most patience ever now. She's like a saint. These coloring books have calmed her. It's just amazing.
It's cheaper than therapy.
Right, honey. Tony said that, not me. Okay.
Hey, guess who we have?
Who do we have, Stace?
We have an update from Lorenzo on the street. Woohoo! Hold on, let's bring him in. He's going to tell us all about Drago, Rocky versus Drago night. Lorenzo!
It's Mike and Stacy and Tony.
Lorenzo, look at this guy.
We're rockied out.
We are so rockied out. And listen, this is the first time we have ever had 4 squares on this podcast. This is a testament to Anthony. We need 2 men to carry the lack of no Anthony. Okay.
100%. No one replaces Anthony.
Exactly.
Nobody does.
And actually, Lorenzo, you just nailed Anthony's catchphrase.
100%.
100%.
I thought you pressed the button.
I was channeling him. That's what I was doing.
Exactly.
And I was about to go to open heart surgery, but I said, no, Anthony needs us.
Exactly.
Let the person wait or watch Rocky while they're waiting.
Exactly. Poor Anthony probably is holding the back tank of a toilet right now, or he's stuck under a sink, or carrying a furnace or a heater of some sort. And here we are having fun. So Anthony, we miss you, my friend.
Always miss Anthony. Absolutely. Elvis Anthony.
Elvis TCB. Anthony is TCB. He's taking care of business.
I don't know. Maybe you know what? He did have that challenge to me. Maybe he's at the gym kicking my butt right now.
Well,
and I'm maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
I told Anthony I got to tell him about my father-in-law knew Elvis and spent many times with him. And I have to tell Anthony the story. Elvis Presley stuck up for him and avoided my father-in-law to get beat up. I mean, come on. That would be awful.
Now, listen,
Lorenzo, you got to be on his other podcast. You got to be a guest on that podcast.
Yeah,
come on.
You got to go on his Elvis podcast. And I think what we're going to do, Stacy and I were talking about this as 2 of the 3 founding members of the Rocky Files. I think we're going to do this whenever any of us can't make it. I know I won't be able to make it in the future, and Stacy, I'm sure, is going to have things coming up in the future. So I like this concept of having a revolving co-host. So Tony he's our number 1 first very ever co-host, rotating co-host, and we're going to bring Tony back in the future. But I thought, boy, would it be a great idea if we put other people there from time to time, and let's see what they bring, right?
Yeah,
right.
Now, absolutely.
And Lorenzo is a founding member of the Rocky Files. He's our man on the street. So we're going to be. I like this concept. I think we bring Lorenzo in a little bit more like this. Now that we can see we could do the 4. Lorenzo, what's been happening in your world?
Well, a lot of we always incorporate Rocky into our world. Every time I go to pick up my kids at school or drop them off, I get all the parents looking at me. And one of them recently came up to me and said, "Listen, I love Rocky, but don't you have any other clothes? Do you only have the Rocky clothes?" house. And I said, well,
yes, we do. That's all we
have. Yeah. But I said, you do double Rocky. I got the Rocky sweater and then the Rocky shirt under it.
Nice.
I got cut me, Mick. I got under it. Yeah.
You're bulletproof.
Oh my gosh.
You are bulletproof.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You know, we are living life. We're working hard. And glad to be here. Yeah, really glad to be here. We meet some great people on the street who love Rocky.
Yeah.
So that's always really, really nice.
Tell us about your new YouTube channel. You're putting things up on your YouTube channel.
Yes.
No, so I love going out talking to people about Rocky, but also like trending topics. But Rocky's always my absolute favorite. So just as much as I could put Rocky out there, or people, you guys have the awesome podcast. So if I could bring more of those street interviews, meeting people. So we're putting them on my YouTube channel, Lorenzo Leonard. So everyone could see so Sly could see, because he said, I don't know what Rocky means. And so now I'm trying to go out there to show him that Rocky means quite a bit, as all of you know.
Brilliant.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Lorenzo, what's your thoughts on the Rocky IV re-edit? Give it to us, your straight beef. What do you think?
Well, first of all, the fight was like a million times better. I really enjoyed the fight. I felt like I was actually in the fight.
Yeah.
And of course, the punches were replaced with real punches. I think before he used like car crashes.
Shotgun, broken glass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, he used some of that. So I like that. I thought I was amazed when I started seeing a lot of Rocky 3 into it.
That was interesting. Yeah,
it was
didn't see
interesting.
that coming. Interesting. Yeah.
No, I didn't think it was necessary. I thought just start it like he always starts it.
Right.
And I enjoyed it all. I did think it was better that Apollo just didn't get obliterated, like he was nothing.
Right. I agree.
So that was I thought a lot better at that. And of course I think one of my favorite new ones is the the kitchen scene with, of course, Adrian.
Right.
Where Adrian's just communicating about him. I like that. And I like the elaborate scene with his son on the bed.
Yes.
Oh, yes, very much so.
Yeah, who my wife, oddly enough, how funny is it? You're gonna love this, guys. My wife went to grade school with that little boy for a few minutes.
Oh,
are you serious?
Funny.
She did. Yeah, she went to grade school with him for a little. My wife moved around a lot, so she was really so she met a lot of different people when they were children. So when she was in grade school, he happened to be, I don't know if he just shot Rocky or what, but she knew him for a little bit. But how funny is that she meets me?
And that's it, like everything just morphed into one perfect moment at that point.
Absolutely, definitely.
Imagine that.
But it's funny. No matter who I meet on the street, because like I just met somebody who's not a like enthusiastic Rocky fan like me, but they were like, "What movie? What movie? Oh, Rocky! Yeah, man, of course. Who doesn't like Rocky?"
Right. Exactly.
It's like he like somebody said to me, if I'm down or running a race, all I have to hear is 1 second of "Gonna Fly Now," and I'm Rocky.
Hey, you're Rocky.
Yep. Yes.
So true. You have, Lorenzo, one interview that you've done on the street that really sticks with you or that really moves you to go, oh, I remember this person. Ah, yes.
Do you know what's funny about that is I had a recent one at the Rocky IV screening that I went to in LA, and it's hard to see because the theater was down. But this Spanish gentleman, Juan, he was just talking about all the struggles he had in life. Hard time growing up. And the Rocky movies were just like his only help to keep going.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Did you post that one? We got to post that one.
I did. What I could do is I could cut it down to just him and try to brighten the lights up. Yes.
Awesome. Please do that.
I'm having technical difficulty. The home office is messing with me. They're blinking one of my lights.
Uh-oh.
So I have to stretch and unblink them. Stacy, if you could tell the home office to not do this to me, that would be really appreciative. Yes, I know Anthony. I can't replace Anthony. This is what happens when Anthony's not here.
You see, Anthony? You see? Now, Stacy, do we have our Tony ready for an interview yet?
Our Tony is here. Yes, we got Tony C. We got Tony D.
All right.
Yes.
Just yell Anthony. Somebody's going to turn around. It's
Lorenzo.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mike.
What we want to do, I want to know. We're going to bring Tony in, and we can only do 4 people. So I'd like to bring you back in tomorrow night. Are you available tomorrow to be our actual guest host?
Well, how about this? How about I'll be available if I ask you a Rocky question?
Of course. Anything.
Can Mike answer this Rocky question?
Probably not.
Here we go.
I don't know that much, but go ahead.
You don't know that much. That's what we should do. The first Rocky trivia quiz.
Seriously.
Stump the mic.
It won't be hard. Trust me.
Okay.
Tony, I love that. Stump the mic. We're doing that.
Yeah, that you call in. Remember the radio shows? Stump the mic, stump the host.
Exactly.
Oh, you should totally do that. I'll be on the street in a mall. Yeah, I'll be like, come on, let's see if we can get him.
We can get him exactly.
Oh my!
What's your question?
I think you do know this, but we're gonna bring it up anyways. Okay. All right. Before the famous Carl Weathers, who killed it as Apollo, who can do better as Apollo? Sylvester Stallone had somebody who he did a mock fight with, but he couldn't end up casting him because when he was practicing, he killed them practically. Who was that famous person?
So there are 3 people that he had.
See, that's what you got to do. You got to take my question and just enhance it where you teach me.
So I think a lot of people may already know this answer, but in case they don't, it started with Kenny Norton, who he was originally going to be Apollo Creed, but ABC Superstar, Battle of the Super Network Superstars, Kenny Norton said, no, I'm going to go do that instead. That left a void.
Much better
great career move. So this is the boxing champion, Kenny Norton, right? Who had one of the greatest physiques of all boxers of all time. I mean, Kenny Norton was amazing. Anyways, so Kenny Norton goes to do that, and then they bring in Carl Weathers. But later, they did audition Joe Frazier and Ernie Shavers at one point, who they brought back for Clubber Lang. But unfortunately, both of them derailed Sly. They both really bruised him so bad. And I think it was Ernie Shavers who hit Sly so hard that Sly's quoted as saying, I remember talking to dead relatives. And Joe, I think...
Yeah, and then Joe Frazier, I think, messed his eye up.
Joe Frazier, right. Wow. And that was for Rocky 3 for Clubber Lang. And it's just crazy. Yeah. Also, one side note, and I'm sure you all know this.
I love it.
During Rocky, they're in the arena, the what is it? The Olympic Auditorium in downtown LA. They have 4 days. 4 days to film Rocky. First 2 days, after the second day, they got to tear everything down. The banners, the Christmas lights, the ring, everything, because it's a beauty pageant. Then they got to put it back up after 2 days and redress it and bring all the people back because they couldn't get it because everything got screwed up. There was not a lot of money, and that's just the way that it was. The whole time, Joe Frazier is sitting for 10 hours in a green room in back of the stadium waiting to make his entrance as he does in Rocky, shaking hands.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Joe, let's go, Joe.
You're next, Joe. You're next, Joe.
Exactly. So Joe Frazier, Stallone tells this beautiful story in the Rocky scrapbook, I believe. And he talks about how Joe was so kind. He never complained once about waiting.
Isn't that nice?
It kept him there forever and ever and ever. Lorenzo, that is a beautiful story. You better bring your game tomorrow night. You are our guest host with the director of The Pretender, Jim Toscano. So I hope you're here tomorrow night.
We will be here tomorrow because I want you, Rocky Files people. You, Rocky Files people. And we'll have no lighting issues tomorrow when we come back.
You're here the whole show. Tomorrow night, you're going to be with us from the opening. You're going to do the interview, and you're going to close out. Is that okay with you?
Now, you should want to know, is this okay with you? I'm kind of like, you say okay, and then 2 hours later you're like, but you never know what he might say. I'm gonna get a text from Sly going, hey, yo, what are you doing with this Lorenzo kid? I tried to,
don't look at his hair. He looks just like my son Milo.
Oh my God, no.
Lorenzo.
Yes, sir.
From my heart to yours. Thank you for bailing us out on this very, very important night.
It was my pleasure. I'm sorry that I couldn't get the lighting better, but tomorrow it'll be great. Absolutely. You know what's funny? On Creed 2, he came up to me at the end and he's like, hey, you want to go for coffee? Whoa. Wow, you do look like Milo. So Milo, you want to get coffee? And Milo's like this. Well, I got to go twiddle my thumbs. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I'm like, I want coffee.
I want coffee. Oh my God.
You need coffee, Lorenzo. You need to really liven up a little bit.
Oh my God.
Quiet,
absolutely.
Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Yes. Great seeing you, Tony. Stacy, always Lorenzo. A pleasure. Mike, always a pleasure. Like all your videos. The podcast woman here.
She's the best. She is the Adrian Factor.
Thank you.
Lorenzo, we'll see you tomorrow, my friend.
Absolutely. See all you then. Keep punching.
Keep punching. Bye.
That is Lorenzo, and he is a ball of energy. Lorenzo doesn't even have a mother. He was born from the sun. Lorenzo was a solar flare that hit Earth and ran, and that's it. That's it.
It's a meteor that hit the Earth.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, he's a riot.
Stacy, we are privileged to talk with this next guy.
Yes.
This guy has some serious stories. Not only does he have great Rocky stories, he is a great Rocky fan. He is also a very close personal friend of mine. And my wife genuinely likes this guy. She met him during the premiere in Philly, and she loves him. Bring him in. Hey!
Yo, Rocky Files, Mike, Stacy, Tony. What a name. I like it.
Tony No Baloney, my man.
Mike, the intro is making me blush, man. Oh, wow. Sue is awesome. That was so much fun meeting her that day. She's incredible.
Yeah. So before we were just before Stacy and I were starting to record here with Tony, Sue had called. She goes, "What time is your recording?" And I told her, and she goes, "Okay." She goes, "Make sure you tell Tony D I said hi and thank you for keeping me company while I was yabbering with everybody that was around." So
that is so nice. Tell her I said hi back. She's watching us. I guess she'll get that.
She'll see that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's so nice.
So, Tony, I'm so glad you're able to fill in tonight. Unfortunately, our main host, co-host, Anthony's not here, but we got Tony C, who is a big deal on social media. This is a guy who's much like yourself. He has a heart and a passion for Rocky. So, Tony C, first question. You got anything you want to ask Tony D off the bat?
Yeah.
Sure. All right, Tony. So what's the first memory of like that Rocky really meant more than just the movie to you?
Oh, that's such a great question because I was thinking about that. I feel like for me, at least, there are two phases of my Rocky journey, right? Like first, when it was a movie that I really liked. I grew up in the Philadelphia suburbs. Rocky's mentioned all the time. My parents are always, talking about it. My dad would do Rocky impressions that Mike would just go, "That's cute. That's cute." But at one point, it went more from being, just a movie that I liked to like, oh my gosh, I'm like all about this, And that would have been, it would have been in the year 2015. I was my oldest son, Tony, by the way. My dad's Tony, so is my grandfather. And
nice.
A lot of Tony.
That's the way it works.
So my son was about almost a year old. And my wife and I were just looking for movies to watch. And we both realized we hadn't watched the Rocky movies together, And, I have a lot of pride being Italian. I got a lot of pride in being from Philly. So I'm like, we got to watch Rocky, So started watching it and just started to realize, now that I have had a kid, I'm like, man, what an awesome role model, too. Like, how cool would it be? Yeah. Like, who makes a better role model than Rocky for so many reasons? Mm-hmm. So my son, all of a sudden, he started to. I would play Gonna Fly Now all the time in the car. He became obsessed with it. He would not let go of my wife's iPod. We just looped that song over and over. That song is just, in my bones, as
Right.
I'm just for everybody here. So just kind of, we took him to the Rocky Steps, and that was the day. I still remember May 3rd, 2015. It was his first trip to the Rocky Steps. And that's when it really just became more than a movie. And like, this is like a part of life, it's part of my kid's life now. And since then, my just Rocky is just in our lives every day. I have 4 kids. Every one of them is obsessed with Rocky. We watch Rocky, everything, every scene from every movie all the time, 24/7. My sons do not go to bed. They don't get tucked in without watching some Rocky scenes, And or we show a lot of Mike's movies too. Rocky and Gritty, as they watch those all the time. Oh, they watch those all the time.
That's funny.
That's awesome. What are your kids' names? You got to brag about that.
Well, the Italian stallion, you got to have, some good Italian names. So little Tony, Chiara, Rocco, who, as much as my wife will not, admit it, is totally named after Rocky. And Caterina. So those are 4 big Italian names.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice.
That's amazing. Now, Tony, listen, you make an awful lot of trips down to the city from the burbs. That is the one thing I love about your pod. Whenever I see you put your posts up, I say, he's at the Italian market, he's at the Steps, or wherever you're at in Center City, Love Park, whatever you're doing. It's always so fun. Do you fight the urge with your wife? Do you have to say, like, you want to say to her, hey, we don't know what we're doing today. Let's take the kids down to the the city. Or like, does your wife buy right into it, or does she say, well, we were there like already. Could we go like to the Jenkintown mall or something? Like what is that conversation like?
That is a fantastic question. So when we first started doing these trips, totally what you just said. We go to Philly, we go to Rocky Steps, and her mind's like, that was fun. Maybe we'll go in another couple months. I'm like, no, I want to go again tomorrow. If I wasn't fun. So at first it was a lot of arm twisting. Come on. She loves good Italian food though. So that is where I successfully twist her arm. That's why we're in the Italian market all the time. So if we're just going somewhere without food, it's kind of got to twist her arm more. If there's really good Italian food, it's like, boom, we're there. It didn't take much convincing. So now she just kind of accepts we're probably going to be spending every weekend of our lives, for the rest of our lives, at a Rocky filming location somewhere in Philly. It's just the way it is.
And what's your wife's name, Tony?
Her name is Valerie.
All right. Now, does Valerie have a favorite Rocky, or is she just the supportive wife who just like, oh, Tony, whatever you like, I like it too. I love this.
Oh, my answer is going to depend on what I'm going to show her this podcast.
She already knows.
She is my Adrian. We fight all the time. Like, I think kind of more like Paulie. And if he ever got married, like that's how we. But deep down, she's my Adrian. I think I'm a Rocky. I'm a much but I'm still Italian. I'm from Philly, so it's close enough.
Agreed.
So she does like Rocky. She's not as into it as me, but she actually convinced me why Rocky 2 is probably my favorite Rocky movie. It's her favorite.
Really?
Yes. So, I don't know. Just, after we had a marathon of them all, she kind of convinced me. The one thing I like about Rocky 2 is that you feel like you get to spend so much time with your friend Rocky. Rocky 1, there's so much, of course, build up. You get to know the character, you get to know the world, you get to know the premise. And then once you get to Rocky 3, it kind of, flies into the 80s. It just retools the whole atmosphere, the movie.
Yeah.
Right. It just takes everything Rocky was and just kind of you live in that world more. So I feel like that's the movie, at least for me and for my wife, that really makes you just like fall in love with the character.
Yeah.
He's just the kindest in that movie, and just I just love that. So that's so now we talk about Rocky quite a bit together until she gets sick of listening to my voice. So which doesn't take very long for anyone.
But you have a beautiful voice, so that's a good thing. So seriously.
First person I think has ever told me that. I appreciate it.
Stacy, I was telling you a few months ago about a guy I knew who literally was on set of Creed 2 at the penitentiary. Yeah, I told you about this guy, but I don't think I mentioned any names. His role had gotten cut from the opening of Creed 2, which is a heartbreaker. But Tony D is the guy I had been talking about. And Tony, you have this amazing story. Yeah. And I know it's a huge story. So if you don't want to tell it all, or if you want to condense it or whatever, tell us a little bit about how you got to be on set and how did you become a co-bartender with Baby Drago?
Sure. I'll give you the condensed version. We don't want to hear too much of my voice. So I had been an extra on several scenes from Creed 2. I just, as much as I could, I put my application in. So it was the third scene I did. I got selected to be at first just a club patron at a bar. The email came through, a club patron. That's cool. 2 minutes later, I got a second email saying, actually, you'll be a bartender. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So I showed up to Eastern State Penitentiary, which who knew could function as such a cool Ukrainian bar. Yeah. So I got there, and I'm just waiting in line. There's about 150 extras. Once you get there, they have to check you in. So I'm just kind of walking around, checking my phone, texting my wife. And then all of a sudden, this girl up at the front got hold of a megaphone and said, hey, where's Tony? And so I'm texting my wife. I'm like, I'm not talking to me, but my name is Tony. I'll raise my hand. So she's looking at her card a little more. Tony DeGennaro. What? So I raise my hand, and this girl says, yo, Tony, come to the front line. Come on. So all of a sudden, I'm skipping this line. I pass 150 people. Everybody's
looking.
I meet her. She shakes my hand. Hey, I'm Laura Connolly, but I grew up in South Philly. Irish girl growing up in South Philly. They call me Cannoli, so you can just call me Cannoli. Her name is in the credits of Creed 2, Laura Connolly. You'll see it if you look. So she says, okay, so you're our bartender. Awesome. So tell you what, you sign in here, and then I want you to go over to hair and makeup. Like hair and makeup for the fight scene, the only people going to hair and makeup were the ring girls, and I am a ring girl, as you can see. So you have to go out.
That's your other life.
That's a whole other podcast.
Yes, it is.
Not gonna get into it. So I go over to hair and makeup. Put a bunch of makeup on me. I didn't think they'd do anything in my hair, but they cut a V, this tiny little V, in the back of my hair, which apparently is popular in the Ukraine, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So I talked to them a little more, and Laura comes up again. She says, okay, listen, I want you to meet these other two people here. They're going to be the other two Russian bartenders. So I meet them. They are Russian immigrants, as in born in Russia. They just came over here to Philly. I'm like, they got these two Russian people, and they got this Italian guy from the Philly suburbs as the Russian bartenders. I don't know who did this casting, but, whatever. I'll roll with it. So they then say, hey, listen, you guys are going to be prominently featured in this scene. I'm flipping out at this point. So I'm like, what are we going to be doing? What is this scene about? At this point, they haven't said anything. So a couple hours goes by. You're in this holding area for just hours, while they're getting everything ready. Finally, Cannoli comes over with the microphone again, and she's saying, okay, everyone, we want to let you know the premise of this scene. This is going to be the opening scene of the movie, in which Victor Drago is bartending at this Ukrainian bar. So I'm like, cool. So I'm thinking about it for a while. I'm like, wait a minute. He's a bartender. I'm a bartender. Am I going to be like mixing drinks next to
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Just getting out. Unbelievably. And in between, I'm texting my wife. I'm texting my cousin's husband, who's a big Rocky fan, a couple other friends. And so finally, they take us over to the set. Eastern State Penitentiary looks incredible. They decked it out. It looks like a 1990s club. It's incredible. So we go around the bar. They say, hey, start mixing drinks. Go wild. So we're mixing stuff, and I'm just having a blast. And then the director comes over, and that's when things took a turn south. And she says, oh, cool. So you guys are bartenders looking good. I'm sorry, not the director. She's like a casting director. She was very important. That's all I know. It wasn't cable. Anyway, so she says, guys are looking good, but it's a lot of bartenders for one bar. As soon as she said that, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. So she didn't say it yet, though. So I'm like, still, hang on to a little sliver of hope. So they escort us back. I know. So they escort us back to right in front of Al Capone's prison cell. So I'm hanging out with my man Al Capone, and then all of a sudden I look over, and there's these two black director-style chairs sitting next to us, and one says Victor, and the other says Ivan. And I'm like, oh. So anything else, maybe I'll just get to see them. So we're sitting there, and Victor Drago walks in, looks right at me and the other two, and says, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And so we just say hi back. Oh, this is so cool. Yeah. So he's there for a bit, and then Dolph Lundgren comes in, and he's talking to Victor. We're just staring at him, watching him talk. I'm freaking out. It was so awesome. So that was the high point of the night. Then they bring all of the other extras into the set, and but not us. I'm thinking, what does this mean? So then finally, one of the casting people came out and said, "Little change of plans, guys. Turns out you and the other guy, you guys are going to be bartenders. Not bartenders. You guys are going to be bouncers." As soon as I heard that I'm going to be a bouncer, I realized there was no way you would ever see me in the scene, because not even the best Hollywood effects could make me a believable bouncer. I mean, just no. So anyway, from about midnight to 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm watching the bar that Ivan Drago is tending bar at, that I should have been standing there next to him making drinks with, in a very low place. But as you know, the whole scene was completely scrapped from the movie. So I'm actually glad that I did get cut. Otherwise, I would have spent 8 months of my life thinking, I'm going to be in the opening scene of this movie. Go to the theaters. Right. Not there. So that worked out. And that's
wow.
Awesome story. That is awesome.
That to me is nothing short of brilliant. Because I would have loved to have seen that opening. And from what I had understood is that guys were cracking on Baby Drago, and Ivan Drago comes in, he pulls them off of them, and he punches a few guys. Now I want to see that. Mm-hmm. I think now they did a good job with the opening, with Drago working in this cinder block factory and living in horrible conditions or whatever. But oh my God, just to see Drago come through a crowd as an older man and just pull the bums off his son, and the typical Drago punch, that to me would have been a pretty amazing opening. I don't know.
I saw the whole thing, and it was. I wish they didn't cut it. Exactly what you said is what they did. It was so cool. Victor was behind the bar, and he's making drinks, and then a couple of the patrons started. It was all in Russian, so I couldn't understand it, but they were clearly making fun of his dad. And then Victor gets real mad. He glares at him, and he walks away in the back room for a couple minutes. And then he storms out of the back room and starts just beating people up. And then finally, just out of the middle of nowhere, Dolph Lundgren came right past me, shoved past me, and he grabs these guys. He punches the one guy, throws the other to the ground. I saw him do it like 10 times. And then he takes his son, and they have this other scene at the side of the bar. He takes him out to the back alley, and he starts talking to him. Again, not sure what he was saying, but it was so cool to watch. It really would have been cool if they opened the movie. I feel like that's probably something Sly wrote that maybe got cut, because he co-wrote that, right? Didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did. I do feel like that is something Sly wrote. I don't know for a fact, but I know he wrote the majority of Creed 2. Cool. And of course, I know there was some palace intrigue behind the scenes that didn't go Sly's way, but that is one scene. I tell you, that is something I want. I hope we get a Drago movie. I want a Drago movie
so bad. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, there was also that cut scene that was showing up on Instagram where Rocky and Ivan Drago got into it in some lobby or something.
Yes.
Lobby of the hospital.
Hospital.
Yeah. Hospital. Right. But that never made it in either.
Never made it in, and that's the problem. As we all have the Blu-ray DVDs, they don't put a lot of that deleted stuff. There's way more deleted footage than what goes on. I don't understand why there isn't more deleted footage on here. It's just sitting there. It's not hurting anybody. Put it on the DVD so fans can enjoy it. You filmed it. put it on there? I don't understand.
I was in 2 deleted. I did 4 scenes for 5 days. 2 of those 4 scenes were deleted. There was the bar scene, and then there was another scene, which, as you said, it's not on the Blu-ray. It's nowhere. I haven't even seen it online. It was a scene. They filmed it on top of Sears Center South on my birthday. I spent the first half of the scene 30 years old, the second half 31 years old. Everybody was wishing me happy birthday at midnight when the Pico building, the time came across. But it was,
right.
They did this whole scene on top of there, supposed to be at Vegas. And Adonis was, it's right before he proposed to Bianca. They had this like party for him. And yeah, like you said, like it'd be cool to see that. And they're just, we don't need to worry about film anymore. It's all digital. Yeah, just,
yes.
Yeah.
Well, not even that. Like Mike says, I mean, at least they get their money's worth. I mean, what fan wouldn't go out and buy it if they know that those clips are on a DVD? You know, even no matter how many copies you have of Creed 2, if they released one tomorrow with those deleted scenes, we're all buying it.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally. Like Rocky 2. So we all know Slice, he had said repeatedly, Rocky 1, all the deleted scenes are gone. That was standard what they did. Travesty. It's horrible. But so Rocky 2 through Balboa, all the tonnage of deleted scenes. We have all seen the pictures of Rocky walking the baby carriage down the street with Adrian and Butkus. We saw there. I know from talking on my tours, I have met many of the neighbors that live on South Lambert Street where the Rocky 2 house was. And they tell me that Burt Young, they were there filming. Paulie, Rocky, and Adrian were all walking around talking. Paulie was watching Butkus. There was a whole bunch of things being filmed, but nothing goes on DVD. I don't understand that. I don't get it.
I agree. I don't understand it either.
Freaking MGM, man. Wow. Freaking MGM.
Maybe we could start an online petition like they did with Zack Snyder and the Justice League.
Yes.
Look what happened with that.
Release the Rocky behind the scenes.
Exactly. My God, could you imagine how I would all the fans? Let's say, for the sake of argument, let's say there are 100 million fans for Rocky. Of those 100 million, let's say 10 million fans out of 100 million fans decide to buy the DVDs. Right. Are you kidding me? At $50, $100 a reissue?
Yeah, whatever it is.
Holy Christ.
Yeah.
Clean up.
I would love to see Sly go back and do director's cuts of like as many Rocky movies. Oh my gosh. That would be amazing. Incredible.
I wanted to do 5. I wanted to do 5. Yeah.
We all do.
If I could only pick one, I would pick 5. You know.
I got it.
Yeah, I agree, Stacy. People always ask me why I didn't like that one the most, and it felt like Sly was portraying Rocky almost as a caricature of Rocky.
Yeah.
Like he didn't come across like he normally did in the other movies. He almost seemed like somebody goofing around impersonating Rocky.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was like in the first beginning, where's the kid? Hey, where's the kid? Like, it's your son. Why aren't you calling him Robert? Like, what do you mean the kid? Everything's the kid. He seemed over the top with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just my opinion. You know,
no. I've heard that. There seems to be almost a characterization or caricature of Rocky. It's like whenever I've gone to a bar or whatever, people know what I do for a living. They come to me, hey, you the Rocky guy? Yo, I can do Rocky. You suck at Rocky. Yo, look at this. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they do. It's amazing. Yeah. People, it's crazy.
Oh, you're the Rocky guy.
You're the Rocky guy, right? You're that moron that goes around Philly thinking you're Rocky. Get some meds, get some therapy. I can do Rocky.
I'm assuming you must be going to the bar in Kensington with Little Marie.
Yes. Of course. Well, give him his drink then. Man.
Sounds like that crowd, yeah.
My God. Now, Tony, let's talk about November 11th. Yes. My wife and I, we were coming down the top of the Rocky steps, and I see you coming up, and I just yell, "Yo, the nice Rocky shirt!"
I thought it was fun.
And you look at me, and you did a double take up. Mike. And that's when I had introduced you to my wife, and she just thought the world of you. So we're standing there.
Nice.
Yeah, she really likes you. So we were talking a little bit there, and then we went over to the Rocky statue where we met another Rocky fan, Rose Molinaro. Am I saying her name right? Yeah, Molinaro, right?
Oh my God.
Molinaro. No, Molinaro, I believe.
I'll go with you.
Yeah, Rose Molinaro.
I know Rose. Rose the first thing I got.
And Rose took the tour a few years back with her husband, and Rose is one of my favorite people on the planet. She's had some adversity, she's had some challenges, and she really is a female version of Rocky. And she's someone that I could talk to all day. Her and her husband. But anyways, so I had to go. Sue and I had to go, and I introduced you and Rose. And then 10 hours later, I see you and Rose hanging out front of the theater where we all hung out for like 2 hours before the movie. What was that like for you?
Oh, it was incredible. It was so much fun just being there. You're next to the red carpet. And, just being, I was texting all my friends who, are also big Rocky fans, and they are at their respective theaters about, to watch the Q&A. And we're like standing right outside of the actual theater. So it was incredible. I got to meet Burt Young earlier in the day. It was unbelievable. So it was just such a great day. But yeah, I mean, you could feel the energy being at that red carpet. Burt Young did come. He walked the red carpet there, and man, the crowd loved him. The funniest part was this girl came up to get a picture with him on the red carpet. And so he puts his arm around her and he plants this big kiss on her cheek, and the crowd just went nuts.
that I do remember that. And also, I think you were playing tag, hide and go seek with Sylvester Stallone. Tell us a little bit about that.
This is so funny. It
was a heartbreaker. My wife is really tired of me being a downer about this. So anyway, I was hoping so bad to see Sly, maybe get like a quick picture with me, just like this quick thing. Oh, it would have been amazing. Because then I could bring it home, show my kids a picture of me with Rocky, and they would know I weren't just another bum from the neighborhood.
Right.
Well, I'm still just another bum from the neighborhood. So, we're waiting outside the front of the theater, and then Mike very kindly came out, and he told the whole crowd there, "Hey guys, just so you know, he just came in through the back." So we're like, bummer. So anyway, of course, we decided, okay, we'll go around the back, and he's got to come out of the theater at some point, and hopefully we'll see him then. So we spent, I think, like 6 hours going to the back, to the front, to the back, because we're not sure where's he going to come out. So we all exchanged phone numbers, and, I said, hey, why don't we, I'll go around to the front for a bit, and if I see something, I'll text you guys and come real quick. If you see something, call me and let me know, I'll come back. So we're doing this for several hours, and we ended up standing next to his, not his limo, but really nice car, whatever it was.
Yeah, the SUV, yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm not good with cars. I'm a little punchy there. So the car drove away to, I think, kind of disperse the crowd. So it was kind of chaotic. Finally, about 10 o'clock at night, we're all waiting at the back. It's been hours. Nothing's really happening. So I said to everybody, you know what, I'll go check the front again. So I checked the front, and nothing there. So I texted back, nothing here, anything there. I didn't get back from anybody. It's like, uh-oh. so really quickly, I ran into the back. So I ran in the back, and they're all looking at their phones. They're like, I can't believe it. What happened? And they're like, he just came. You just missed him. Like, no, you're kidding. And then I saw the pictures, and then I knew they were kidding. But it's they got great pictures and everything. So it was awesome. I was happy they were able to see them. So bummed that I missed it, though. I couldn't believe it. I came home, I'm talking to my wife, and she's like, man, you're acting like somebody died. Everything's okay. But to a Rocky fan, we Rocky fans, I'm sure my fellow Rocky fans understand.
Yeah.
So I was, oh my gosh, I was so down, for just days. But I told this to Mike too. I was looking through my pictures from that day, and I saw the picture of Mike and I at the Rocky steps. Like, you know what? I've met Rocky. Like, Mike is Rocky, right? I mean, he has the heart of Rocky. So it's like, okay, I didn't see Sly. I'm friends with the real Rocky. So what more can you ask for,
Yeah.
But it was a cool day. No.
Listen, that story was so amazing. It was so amazing. It turned Tony C sideways. I think
Tony's frozen.
Tony's frozen vertically.
Frozen.
That's all right. Not a problem.
Come on back, Tony. Oh my gosh, he'll be back.
Tony D, I have had the greatest experience with you, not only on site, but here talking with you. Stacy, before we let Tony go, before we let him go to his family, do you have anything you want to say to him?
We read from your that letter that you wrote, and I just remember the sweetest thing you said was I met Rocky. Just what you just said now. You said that in your email, like, oh, it's okay, I didn't meet him, but I met him, and I loved that part of the story. That was just so sweet. I'm so glad you said it. So
thank you.
Yeah, you're just a great guest. Yeah, and he's so prepared. And can I just say, I send out, the questions and what we're going to cover. Tony D had his homework done for this show. I was so impressed. So yeah,
I love it.
Great guest, Tony.
Tony, Tony, that I always ask this last question of all of our guests. If you had 30 seconds in an elevator with Sylvester Stallone, what would you say to him? Go.
First, I'd press all the buttons on the elevator so I could maybe turn 30 seconds into 2 minutes. But what I would do if I had 30 seconds, I'd say, Sly, just thank you so much for everything you've done for me, for my kids. You are a role model to them and to me. Me and my kids, we look to, hey, how would Rocky solve this, just to get through the hardest parts of life. So thank you for what you have done to inspire people around the world. You mean so much to us. You mean so much to Philly. You mean so much to the whole world. So that's what I'd say.
I love that.
Perfect,
so nice.
Succinct, heartfelt. Tony D, you are absolutely one of my personal friends. I consider you one of the nicest people I have met on my Rocky journey. And I hope at some point, you get a chance to come over to the house. You only live about 15 minutes from me. So I'm thinking maybe if you're more than welcome to bring the kids with you. But if you would like an adult night out, if you get a babysitter and you and Valerie would like a night out, come on over to the house. We'll have a nice Italian dinner, or maybe we'll get pizza and have a glass of wine and we'll just hang out and chat. Would you be up for something like that?
I would more than be up for something like that, Mike. I would be honored. Likewise, you're one of my favorite people in the world. That would be incredible. I'd be totally up for that. And my parents are always up for a fun night with the grandkids. So that's perfect.
That sounds like a double date, my friend.
Nice.
Tony, thank you so much. I appreciate this. We're going to let you go. We're going to finish out our little podcast here. And you, my friend, keep punching.
Thank you so much. It's so honored to be on this amazing podcast. Don't ever stop this. More Rocky movies, more Rocky Files podcast. I want them both to go on forever.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, guys. It was great.
Bye-bye. Oh, that was awesome. What a great
Tony.
guy. Oh my God.
Tony is one of the nicest. I've met a lot of people and I met a lot of nice people. But Tony is, I don't have a lot of friends in my life, and that's by choice. Or maybe not. Maybe there's a reason I don't have a lot of friends. But Tony is one of those guys that I would have over my house in a heartbeat. I've been around Tony where he's high energy and when he's very neutral, and there's a very nice flow to his personality, and he's a great family guy, and he provides for his family. I don't know, there's just a good vibe around the guy. So Tony, thanks again.
Yeah, so sweet and so genuine and so just, I should probably take a screenshot of it, because when I invited him, the exclamation points, and he was so excited to come on, and it was just his excitement and enthusiasm. It's just so nice that people are that excited to come be our guest and everything. So he I knew he would be infectious, energetic like Lorenzo. So
exactly,
he's a great pick.
This is what we always hope for, Stacy. You, me, and Anthony. When we started doing this, we said, "Boy, wouldn't it be great if we just had people who were just so enthusiastic? They're just such good people, just like us. They just get the philosophy of this character, Rocky, and this is who we had hoped to get. Someone like a Tony D." Speaking of Tonys, we lost our main guy, Tony, today. But Tony,
I know.
See, Tony hung in there throughout 90% of this podcast. Tony, I know you're not here with us right now, but thank you for bailing our butts out of the fire. Anthony thanks you. We thank you. And we're definitely going to have you back. You were great as a co-host. You were our first co-host on the revolving chair. So thank you, my friend.
Thank you. He did great. He did great. And there is going to be revolving times if I ever do get my butt to Tennessee, there's going to be a couple weeks. I'm not going to be, because I'll be moving and be a crazy person, and the holidays can be crazy. So we'll just see what happens, like on a day that you can't join us or something.
Sure.
We're gonna have a list of people to help us. Yeah. I just wanted to make one correction. So funny. So at our opener last week, there was I read from a fan named Peyton Waltz. Now, every Peyton I know in my life is a female. This Peyton is a male. So I want to officially make a correction that Peyton Waltz is a male, and he just sent us that what I read last time. He sent us the most beautiful compliment into us. Awesome. And so, and then I said, but I said, wasn't that so nice of her? I said she, and then he was laughing. I'm like, I will officially make the correction. So Peyton Waltz is a man who's our big Rocky fan.
I'm so bad with pronouns. It's terrible. I'm horrible with them. I don't even know anymore.
Well, some the names though, I just like Taylor. I know female Taylors and male Taylors, and and Tylers, and so I know male and female Peytons. But anyway, just a little side note.
Stacy, it's a whole new world from when we were kids.
Yes,
a whole new world.
Sure. That is for sure.
Stacy, before we get out of here and go back to our respected families, is there anything you want to talk about or brag about or talk anything?
Well, my daughter, she's flying in from Nashville tomorrow. Tomorrow night. So that'll be so nice to see her. I miss her. She's in Nashville and we're in New Hampshire. So, and she will have her song number 2 coming out, and so I'll be plugging that when we have it. She's in the middle of recording it right now, and let's see. Oh, look who came back just for 5 seconds. Let's bring him in. Hang on.
What happens when you didn't expect to be on and your battery's low?
That's what happened.
Damn.
I am so sorry. I mean, it was bad enough I'm having the amateur hour here where I'm bouncing all around.
That's all right.
No, Tony, see, this is what makes it funny and interesting. That I'm telling you, when you watch this back, it makes it funny. That's what we hope for. If we can't have our main squeeze Anthony with us, Tony, this is what we do. It's off kilter. We're not exactly sure what we're doing, so let's just make it fun and enjoyable. And
I appreciate you understanding it. I'm like, great. They're never gonna have me on. Oh my god.
No, you'll definitely be back. We're putting you into rotation, pal.
Jesus.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we just
when I leave the house, Stacy, I'll have everything ready to go. Moments notice.
Forever.
A Rocky Files kit, like when you're 9 months pregnant and you have the bag by the door to go.
Exactly.
Well, you got to have a Rocky Files kit on your phone and ready to go.
My Rocky File emergency kit. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Exactly.
Too funny. Oh, well, you know what? We'll let you jump in. Give us your 2 cents on Tony D.
Yeah.
He was awesome, wasn't he? He was so awesome. But also, I mean, the stories, my goodness. I've met dozens of celebrities in my lifetime, but to be a Rocky fan and have done what he's done, man. He took. I mean, I thought the one story was great, and then he met Burt Young, and then it's great stories, story, and the passion that he had for it. I love that he's passing it on to the kids. That's great.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Forget matriculation, forget spelling, forget historical data. Right. Who cares about the Liberty Bell and signing the Declaration?
That's right.
Teach those kids. Teach the children well.
That's it. My one daughter's in college, like you guys know, and she texted me, "Oh my God, Dad, you got to come and teach this class." I said, "Why?" She goes, "The class is based on motivational speaking and motivational speeches." Mm-hmm. The first thing they put up there on the first day of her class was
Wow, come on.
Balboa.
Rocky 6 speech? Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
What more do you
That's
need?
awesome.
Yep. She goes, I can't believe it. She goes, they're teaching Rocky in college. I said, yes.
Perfect. As
They
it should be.
Graduate school,
Yeah, the
thesis,
professor said it was
doctorate.
the cinematic speeches ever.
Yeah. Wow.
Tony, we are going to sign off here in about 12 seconds. Before we go, is there anything you want to push, promote? What's your Instagram? Tell us anything you got.
No, I mean, you could check out the Instagram. You've seen it on yours, and it's Tony.c.22. And actually, Mike knows the 22 all too well because what was Sly's number?
Exactly right.
Exactly right. That was my number playing football. And
nice.
I wanted it to be a subtle name on Instagram. I didn't want it to be like, the biggest Sly fan at,
right.
I wanted to be something a little more discreet.
Yeah. I murder for Sly. Exactly. Exactly. I know. I tattooed Stallone on my kid's forehead. Whatever.
Prison tattoo too.
Yeah, exactly. Could you imagine that? Just crazy.
But no, just go on there. I mean, I put some motivational stuff on there from time to time, and I hope you like what you see when I post some things.
Yeah,
so.
your posts are beautiful. No, they always are very good, very thoughtful and interesting. Not just the usual repost.
Like the mail today, and then sometimes they come out of like you had asked me, Mike, do I ever give them the speeches or do I ever quote Rocky to the kids? Sometimes something will happen where I do, and so I'll post it at that point. But it just depends. It depends on the moment and what's going on. And then sometimes I just search for a picture just to do it, and
of course.
And then of course any holiday ones I have. I keep telling the Sly Stallone shop they need to make a Christmas shirt.
Yeah, like an ugly Christmas sweater. Yes, they do.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
There is. I found an Italian stallion ugly Christmas sweater online. But it's it's not by them, so I mean it's probably a little cheap and everything. So
a little cheap,
right?
Exactly.
Right.
I feel like I'm cheating on them if I buy like this.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
It's so true.
I know.
You see stuff on eBay, you're like, that's nice, but it's not authentic. So I don't know.
Online T-shirt mistress.
Exactly.
Tony, we are going to wrap up and get the heck out of here and go have some dinner. And I'm going to go say hello to my wife, so I haven't seen in about 12 hours. So thank you again, my friend. Stacy, anything you want to plug?
No, just my daughter, and when I have her
and
new song out,
Mentel,
and episode 5 is out with Ryan Harland. He was an author that wrote a book, and we interviewed him, so he's on episode 5. Stigma does not define us on YouTube.
Awesome. Check me out on Instagram, the Yo Philly Rocky Film Tour, and go to TikTok, where I am known as TikTok Rocky, which is TICK, because the regular TikTok Rocky is taken, so I went with TICK Rocky.
Okay,
TikTok Rocky.
Got it.
Everybody, keep
punching.
Good to be on, guys. Thanks again.